I regret not making my marriage work, and now my ex-husband is happily remarried. When I was in my early 30s, I made the decision to divorce my husband. Looking back, it feels like a dream. We were young, in love, and everything was going well. We didn't have any significant arguments or monumental issues tearing us apart. The challenges came after having our son, and that's when things started to unravel. Being a stay-at-home mom, I took pride in raising our child, but I also expected more from my husband. I wanted him to be involved in housework and childcare even though he worked full-time. He was always willing to help, and I can't fault him for that, but over time, I began to demand more and more from him, and I could see the light in his eyes starting to fade. I used to have him wrapped around my finger. I knew exactly how to manipulate situations to get what I wanted, and I took advantage of that power, but eventually, he grew tired of it, and the threats of divorce that were once idle became all too real. I remember the day I told him I wanted a divorce. He looked at me, pain in his eyes, saying he knew the baby was just stressing us out and that he wanted to make it work, but at that moment, at age 30, I felt invincible. I had lost the weight I gained during pregnancy, and I still felt beautiful. I believed I could do better than him, so I left him, taking our house in the divorce and sharing joint custody of our son. Fast forward to today, I'm 41, still single, and my ex-husband is 41 and happily remarried to a stunning 31-year-old woman. They had their daughter 3 years ago, and every time I see them together, my heart aches. He's bought a new house, and my son loves spending time with his other family. It makes me jealous. I keep thinking, she has it all. She took my husband and my kid, and even the life I once had. Now all I have is our old house, filled with memories of what used to be. At 41, life looks different. I've gained 20 pounds, wrinkles have made their mark, and loneliness is my constant companion. I've tried to date, but short-term relationships never turned into anything more. Men just don't seem to want a woman like me, especially one with a child. It bothers me to see how easily men with children find love. I'm not happy anymore. I wish I could go back to when I was younger and change what I did, but now all I have is regret for the choices I made over 10 years ago. I work a job that feels meaningless now, sharing custody of my son, watching him go off to spend time at my ex-husband's house with his new, beautiful wife. Next to her, I feel worthless, like something thrown away. My therapist has been trying to help, encouraging me to find happiness in little things, like a makeover. I tried getting a new hairstyle, but every glance in the mirror reminds me that no matter what I do, I still look like a middle-aged woman. I just feel broken. I wish I had been a better wife all those years ago. I know many people preach the advantages of being alone and single, but honestly, this is not the life I would wish on my worst enemy.
My spoiled nephew started a fire on my vacation house that cost $8,700 to fix. Now his father didn't want to pay. I agreed and said it's off limits until they rented it out. I rent out my house through a service that includes insurance when it is in use. The insurance does not cover when I lend my house out to friends and family since they are not paying. I have regular homeowners insurance for that. My brother was using my house with his family just after New Year's. It's a slow time and I wasn't going to lose out on much income. My nephew stayed up late one night and didn't go out for breakfast with his family, so he decided to make himself some food. He started a kitchen fire, and he freaked out and called 911 instead of using the fire extinguisher in the kitchen. He is 14, so I can't blame him too much. The smoke damage will cost about $8,700 to fix. I told my brother he could take his time paying me back. He said he wasn't going to pay for an innocent mistake. I needed the house in order, so I just fixed everything. I didn't go through insurance since I do not want my rates to go up. I was obviously upset, so I posted about the fire and how pissed I was at my brother. Pretty much all my friends and family took the side of the innocent angel. They said it was unfair for me to expect that much money from him when he could have rented a hotel for 1/4 the price. So I agreed. I said that from now on my house was off limits unless they rented it out or I was there and they came as my guests. Since I only use the house with my family, that means they can rent it all or use the only empty bedroom. It has a twin bed and a crib. Now the howling started that I was being unfair to them for something that wasn't their fault. I offered to take up a collection from them to cover the repairs or the increased insurance premiums, and most of them shut up. I directed them all to my brother. He got quite angry at me for blaming him for the situation. I said I wasn't about to send a mob after my nephew. I bought the house after I got a settlement from a worksite accident. I used the income to supplement the difference between what I used to earn at my old job and what I do now.